expect those people to act to bring to the release of all the hostages, my mom included.
Right now at 11, waiting in agony as families watching the war pray their loved ones will make it out alive. Plus, a progress report on Portland's safe rest villages, how many people they've actually moved into more permanent housing. And later.
Going into the work environment has felt like entering a chamber of trauma.
Hundreds stand up for Portland teachers tonight, one step closer to a strike. And we begin with the rising toll of the deadly attacks inside Israel by Hamas. Good evening, everyone. I'm David Molko. Tonight, after 4 days of fighting, more than 2,000 people, including more than 1,200 Israelis, have now been confirmed dead. And as the sun comes up on Wednesday morning in the region, Israeli Defense Forces say the military has now fully secured the border with Gaza and is preparing for a major offensive. President Biden urging Israel's prime minister to minimize civilian casualties in Gaza while confirming that 14 U.S. citizens are among the dead and some 20 more unaccounted for. Tonight on Nightly News, Lester Holt talked to the son of a woman presumed to have been taken hostage by Hamas. He says he was on the phone with his siblings when he believes his mother was taken.
My brother told me that they both heard Hamas terrorists barged into the shelter in my mom's home, and that was when the conversation was disconnected. And
but notably, there were no shots heard.
There were no shots heard. Yeah.
So you take some hope in that?
Of course, yeah. I'm quite confident that if those animals didn't kill her on the first go, that she survived and she's kept hostage in Gaza.
Tonight, we are also hearing from some in the Northwest with family in the region and caught in the middle of all that uncertainty and violence. Daisy Caballero takes us to meet some of the people praying for safety and peace.
But I'm still searching for and have not heard back yet from family who's in Tel Aviv, who are outside Jerusalem.
Pastor Matt Hennessy of the Vancouver First Baptist Church in North Portland is reeling from the violence in a place he has called home. Having traveled back and forth to Israel from the 1980s to 2016, he was once a student there and shared he was adopted by an Israeli family.
2 sisters are still alive, and their offspring are still alive as well.
Pastor Hennessy is hurt and disgusted by what has played out in the Israel-Hamas war.
I believe that this situation is worse than any situation that's ever hit Israel, and even though I know that rockets are going off, I saw that this morning, as many people did. The fact of the matter is everybody's worried about what could happen next.
I think the easiest way to describe this is atrocities.
Elias Stahl is an Israeli American who lived in Israel from 2012 to 2015 before moving to Portland. And now he's praying for the safety of his family in Israel.
Cousins, aunts, uncles, close friends.
Many who are getting called to fight in the war.
This will be different from any. This is the largest attack on civilians that Israel has ever experienced. It is like 9/11 times 10.
Elias has served in the Israel military during his time there, but understands the gravity of the differences in this situation.
What we are witnessing is an army that is not there to take land. They're not there to build a state. They are there to extinguish the Jewish people.
My heart hurts, both for the macro and obviously for people that mean a lot to me as well.
Daisy Caballero, KGW News.
And stay with KGW and NBC News as we continue to follow the war on the ground in Israel and Gaza. Updates and new developments right here at KGW.com and on the KGW app. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, in Marion County, authorities are looking for 2 men who walked away from a transition center. 36-year-old Gregory Savoy, who was in custody for a parole violation, walked away from that center in Southeast Salem on Saturday. And then last night, 41-year-old Joshua Townsend, also in custody for a parole violation, also left. If you see either of these men, you are asked to contact the Marion County Sheriff's Office. In Washington County, a police chase and shooting ended with 2 people under arrest. Authorities say this morning when they tried to pull over 27-year-old Zachary Phillips near Forest Grove, he refused to stop. Deputies chased him to Gaston and say at one point somebody in that vehicle fired a gun. Phillips got out and ran away. He tried to carjack another driver, authorities say, but was eventually caught. One deputy and 1 state trooper suffered minor injuries during a scuffle with the suspect. Another man in Phillips' vehicle was also arrested on outstanding warrants. And the family of a man shot and killed by Portland police is now planning to sue the city. Emmanuel Jaquez Clark Johnson, who went by Manny, was shot and killed when he was wrongfully identified as an armed robbery suspect last November. The officer who fired said Manny was reaching into his pocket and he feared he had a gun. A grand jury found Manny was in fact not armed, but also found officers justified in that shooting. Manny's family, who we're hearing from for the first time, argues the Bureau needs to be held accountable.
I was saying be safe in these streets, but I never knew that this would happen to him in this type of manner.
A lawyer for the city had no comment on the lawsuit. New at 11, teachers in Oregon's largest school district are one step closer to a strike, and this evening educators in Portland Public Schools joined members of other unions in a show of solidarity. Catherine Cook was at that rally tonight. Catherine.
David, for PPS teachers, this rally is happening at a very critical time. Tomorrow, both sides return to the bargaining table with the goal of avoiding a strike. Outside Portland Public Schools headquarters, they marched. Hundreds of district employees from 4 different unions with one common grievance.
We're all being disrespected and disregarded in our attempts to serve our students.
Angela Bonilla is an elementary school teacher and president of the Portland Association of Teachers. She's grateful for this support during a critical time. Last month, the teachers' union declared an impasse during negotiations with the district. As it stands, Bonilla says the district can declare that they're going to impose their contract, or the teachers' union, after a vote scheduled for next week, can give 10 days' notice that they'll go on strike. They'll hold another bargaining session Wednesday.
I think it's really important for the public to know that we're still coming to the table. We're still trying to find a solution. It's the district that hasn't really moved on some of the issues that are most important to our students and our community.
Bonilla notes 2 major sticking points: more prep time for teachers and smaller class sizes. SEIU 503 Local 140 represents the district's custodians and nutrition services employees.
We are supporting the teachers. They're supporting us. All the unions together make a much louder voice.
Amy Silva serves lunch at Maplewood Elementary.
Sometimes I am the only one that gives them food for the whole day.
Silva says most cafeteria staff make less than $24,000 a year. She and others have been working without a contract since June.
Pretty crummy. Yeah, I have 2 jobs to try and make ends meet, so it would be nice to have 1 job.
What do we want? Safe workplaces! We don't get it? Shut it down!
There's also the union representing library assistants and paraeducators. They're also bargaining with the district. If they don't reach a deal, they could strike later this month. For Bonilla, each union, each employee matters. She hopes this unified message resonates with district officials.
We deserve better because we serve our students. We're here doing it because we care about our students, but care doesn't pay rent.
We reached out to Portland Public Schools for an update from their perspective and are waiting to hear back. If it does come to a strike, PPS notes on their website that it could impact sports, childcare, clubs, and performing arts, among other things. David.
Yeah, care does not pay rent, she says. Catherine Cook reporting tonight. Thank you, Catherine. In our homeless crisis, a brand new report detailing how Portland's safe rest villages are doing when it comes to housing people and moving them into more permanent alternatives. The city's report shows that over the past year, 345 homeless people moved off the streets and into one of 7 villages across the city. 143 of them eventually moved out. The numbers were there. We got off so fast. Of those, 70 went into temporary or permanent housing. Well, some suggest the numbers in the report are promising. Neighbors who live near some of the villages say they are suffering.
There's been a lot of drugs going through here. A lot of people walking here at night, making noises.
I'm happy that people have a place to rest safe, but at the same time, it would be nice if it wasn't in my backyard.
Well, the Safe Rest Village team says it continues to engage with residents. It plans to present that report to City Council on Wednesday. You're watching KGW News. Straight ahead at 11, a local teacher accused for a third time of taking advantage of former students, why the district superintendent says she still can't fire him. Plus, Rip City rebuild, how the newest Blazers fared during their first preseason game.
I'm Matt Safino. The season of fall is in full swing. Look at the rain that came through Astoria today. It was a very blustery day, and we're not done yet. There's not much happening in the valley right now, but to the west there is. Strong line of showers approaching us, even thunderstorms at the coast. And the latest on the forecast for the solar eclipse this weekend.